Great day, great life, great now, everyone. Just checking if we're live as there's been resistance to get this video going. And it looks like we're live. So, again, great day, great now, great life, great now. A beautiful, vibrant soul family. Um, uh, I was going to type this message out. However, I'm not that great at being in the flow typing. Maybe I need a little bit more practice there. However, I'm using with what I got, with what, you know, with what, how I flow best. Um, so as I did the 7 minutes with the now, and if you're not aware, I do 7 minutes with the now, 7 minutes of now. Um, I do it every Monday through Saturday, 5:30 Pacific, 6:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time in English, and 5:50 Pacific, 6:50 a.m. Mountain Standard Time in Spanish. And as I offer that beautiful service to help humanity, it's been so fundamental and a blessing to me. So I want to thank each and every single one of you that have joined. I want to thank all of you that have been a part of it in any way, shape, or form. Whether you watched it, you even watched 5 seconds of it, and it's helped you in any way. If you went, if you've shared it, if you spoke about it to someone, because there are people sharing. So I appreciate all of you. A message came to me that I want to share with you that I kind of feel like, and I'm just going to speak in layman terms because I'm not going to, you know, be so much aware of what I'm saying, because then I'll give a class in what I'm saying. And I just want to get the message out. So however it comes out, it comes out. Um, I love going live, but it's kind of scary at the same time, because it's like, am I going to say it right? I don't get a redo. I can't edit this. I can't go back to it. I just love showing up as myself. And through trial and error, or whatever we want to call that, I get more practiced and more skillful at being myself, because um, when we go live, it could be a little bit nerve-wracking in the beginning. So I'm just being very vulnerable that everybody, no matter how seasoned I've spoken to people that are very skilled at this, and they say that there's a sense of fear every single time, but it's a different kind of fear, and this is what I want to share here today. So the message is from Locked Up to Freed Up. The world needs you, and I need you. Like, I need you. And to get straight to the point is, in the world, I feel like it's an unfair advantage, because I live so free, so in love, so alive, that I want that for every single person I meet. I want that, and I want it so much that sometimes I seem to scare people away. I seem to push people away, because I just want the best for them. I want to gift this gift that I've been gifted, that is within all of us, and I desire everyone to experience this sense of freedom, this sense of love, joy, and aliveness. That's why I feel like it's an unfair advantage, because I see so many people going through things that, I'm not their savior, so I know I can't save them. However, if I could be a seed planter that is going to be a part of their journey, that maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, but next month, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, even a lifetime from now, that I could be a part of that contribution, that they're going to experience something that they wouldn't have if they didn't meet me. And I don't mean to sound like, oh, I'm so important, like I'm, the center. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that is my goal, and my mission is to contribute to humanity, because I know what it feels like to be so locked up in your own head. And I look around the world and I see so much duality, so much conflict, so much judgment, that, trust me when I tell you this was my life before. My life was so full of fear. I didn't talk about it. I didn't share that I was scared. But I was scared inside. I was scared that, that I wasn't going to be loved, that I wasn't going to be respected, I wasn't going to be, acknowledged. I wasn't scared of other things. I wasn't scared of dying. I wasn't scared of, somebody beating me up. Actually, I thrived on those things. And I spoke to a beautiful soul the other day, and we connected at such a level, because it's like we came from a place, and I'm hoping, not hoping, I'm trusting that you get to meet this person one day, because I see a powerful soul in this beautiful soul that we come from a life where our thrill, our rush, our high, if you want to say, our stimulation was danger, violence, and just great resistance, against the odds, like defying the odds every single day, and pushing the threshold of life's existence every single day. And that's what I would get high on every day. And nothing could even come close. You know, not intimacy with the woman, which I don't want to say the word because there could be kids here. Not, external illegal stimulation, buying and illicit drugs. None of that was able to do for me what darkness and fear and danger did for me. So the reason why I share this message is because I see so many people, which I also see several people starting to wake up, starting to take personal responsibility, starting to take charge of their lives. So I honor you. Thank you so much. However, I see, and if that's part of you, if that's you, let's talk. Let's join forces. Let's contribute, because that's why somebody is here. So now that being said, I want to share with those of you that know someone, or that you are personally going through this, that you feel locked up in your head, because I served fear, I served danger, I served violence, I served self-abuse and I massacred myself. I massacred myself every day, and I got a joy of it. And now that I'm on the other on this other sense of this personal relationship with myself, that I've read about it, I've heard about it, but until you experience it, it's like, and I haven't even touched the surface. And I experienced this like I could just let go and just forget everything and be the happiest ever. But I know that I got a mission, I got a vision, I got a purpose to fulfill that's already fulfilled within me. I just desire to bring this out because I've lived on the opposite side of the tracks. So that being said, excuse me, it's not a coincidence that when I want to start this live, I had resistance going live a couple times. And we can agree that most that are living in life are living in a deep sense of duality, judgment, and conflict, from the ignorance that bursts confusion, that manifests as the mental illusions as fear, that we individually manifest physical fears, so we collectively manifest these physical fears, so that we can make up, so we could justify just how powerful we truly are. But we manifest in the sense of fear, that fear is so powerful because we unconsciously don't realize that we are manifesting it on ourselves. So like I said, trust me, this is where I come from. I come from manifesting my life, being locked up for most of my life. Well, now it's less than half of my life because I've been getting more seasoned in life. But I was locked up from the age of 13 all the way to 29. And I'm so grateful, because I want to speak to those that are probably hearing this that don't feel like there's a way out. Because I remember being in the system, not just in the legal system, but being in the system of the brain, that I didn't feel like there was a way out. I couldn't believe there was a way out. I didn't even think about another side of a possibility. Like, I didn't dream about being married, having kids, or graduating school, or being successful in a job, or anything like that. What I dreamed about is going out in a blaze of glory with either my enemies or the cops. That was my dream, is to die in a gunfight, taking as many people as I can that was against me. That was my dream. I mean, think about that for a second. That was my dream. That was what I lived for. Because I wanted the ultimate respect, that people would remember me 100, 200, 300 years from now, because that was that person that was so brave that he didn't care. He was willing to die for his friends. Blah, 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 blah. Right? That was my dream. Now my dream has shifted and transformed into, my dream is I desire to take more people than ever with me, in the sense of, for them to be in the best relationship within themselves, whatever faith that is, for the best relationship within themselves, so they are free to be who they are and have the fear serve them, because now fear serves me. I see fear in a different way now, because now the fear that I lived before, now I can transform it and use it to serve others, because I can comprehend a lot where people come from. And they don't have to be drug addicts. They don't have to be gang members. They don't have to be, institutionalized. Because there's so many people that are institutionalized daily in the world. They're institutionalized thinking that this is all that this is all there is. That there's no other side to this. They're afraid what's going to happen tomorrow, that they don't live today. They're afraid what people say about them, that they don't even give themselves the opportunity to speak about how they feel without disrespecting others, of course. There's people that are so locked up in their brains that they don't even know what they want out of life. There's so many people that are stuck in a physical and psychological, what is it called? Not a cubicle. A mental and a psychological and a physical cubicle, whether it's a 9 to 5 or whether it's a 9 to 5 in their own head. They check in and they check out to someone that they don't think that it's them. They think that something else is in control. And let me tell you, and I'm going to say it right here on this live, as crazy as I sound, like, I am so free that, I mean, it sounds like I'm bragging, but I don't know how else to articulate this, that I don't pray to angels. I don't pray, I don't fear demons. I don't have this duality sense where I just live my life. And I'm not trying to offend if somebody is, believes in angels or demons or whatever, but I'm telling you, like, I lived with demons, what I thought was demons, all my life. But I'm going to tell you something. When you look in the mirror, and that's the worst person that you fear in your life, that when people out here think that you don't fear them and you don't fear anything, the secret was I was afraid of myself. I looked in the mirror and I was afraid of what I looked at, because it was so grotesque and so ugly that I'm not going to say here because there could be children watching, but it was so grotesque and diabolical. It was not so much what I seen, it was what I felt, that I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. That's where I come from. But I had to go through that so I can realize that when I look at myself in the mirror today, it's the most beautiful, the most incredible, purposeful person that I could see in the world, that I love that person, that I could look at myself in my eyes and love who I see on the other side, that it doesn't matter who loves me or who doesn't love me out here, because just when I was afraid of my own self, so I wasn't afraid of the world, now I've discovered that I love myself so much that it doesn't matter who loves me or who doesn't love me out here. It's beautiful. Oh wow, Instagram just turned off. Okay, there we go. So this is what I'm talking about. This message is what I feel is the most important message, is what good does it do that you have physical and people love you, but you don't love the head that you have. You don't love the skin you're in. You don't love the potential of your heart that is always speaking and willing and wanting for you to come back home. Because it takes direction and guidance of the one spirit. So, I see so many people stuck in duality, stuck in judgment, stuck in criticism, stuck in fear, that I know the simplest, profoundest way that they can love themselves, get out of their own way, and love living, thriving. Because we were all meant to thrive. And I'm talking even people that do a lot of damage. I did a lot of damage. Now, if I didn't know what I know now, there was no way I could forgive that Michael. There was no way I could love that Michael. I hurt my own family. And I'm going to say it because I got permission from my mom. I seen my own mom dying in my arms, and I was celebrating for me to be able to go wild and violent on a whole nother level, because I had calmed myself down, because I realized that I was killing my mom. That she was worried about me constantly, that her nerves were just so fragile. And I promised my mom, I won't hit anybody. Unless they touch me, I won't hit anybody. because I was a loose cannon. And for those of you that know me, you know that, 5 people, 10 people, I'd still come at you. Wasn't afraid. Because I'm telling you the secret, I was afraid of myself. I wanted to die. I couldn't stand living with this grotesque, diabolical, out of this world, dimensional appearance that I seen myself, that I couldn't even brush my teeth in the mirror. Think about that for a second. I couldn't even brush my teeth in the mirror. I was in bondage, imprisoned, enslaved by my own thoughts. That I didn't realize that I can step out beyond my thoughts, that I wasn't my thoughts. I know what it feels like to be so locked up that you'd rather die. I know what it feels like to be so against yourself that it doesn't matter how many people are around you. I actually projected for everyone around me to betray me. It's not their fault. I love you. No, I love you. Those of you that betrayed me, thank you, because you actually honored me. Because if the people in my gang and my life were faithful to me, I would have been a career criminal. I would have been on America's Most Wanted list. I would have been maybe hiding in another island somewhere, doing the worst crimes in the world that people can't even imagine against, men, because that was my enemy, right? Not children, not women. Like I couldn't stand, men that were against me, that were against my gang or whatever, right? So the reason why I'm sharing this with you, there's so many reasons why I'm sharing this. And like I said, if I was to type it out, it'd be like a big old long essay. And there's a lot of people that don't read a lot, so that's why I desire to rather go live. Because you can listen to it, you can replay it, you can go back to it, you can rewind it, you can do whatever you want with it, you can share it. And I need to be careful with my words now, but I don't live in fear. So I'm going to transcend that. I'm going to say the greatest virus that ever exists is the virus of fear, which comes from the injection of ignorance. Ignorance births confusion. Confusion births fear. Just like awareness births acceptance, acceptance births love. This fear and love paradigm has confused a lot of people. Let's go to the core. And if you'd like to know more, and if you'd like to take a class, which, this is my bread and butter, this is what I love living for, this is why I am still alive. And let me tell you, I've died several times. I've had, 20 cops pointing guns at me. Literally walking towards them with my hands in my pocket, saying, I don't care with the other word. I don't give a care. I don't give a care. And it's a miracle I'm here. It's a miracle I didn't get shot to death. It's a miracle that, I got stabbed 20 times. I gave back the person the knife and I told them to finish the job. And they were helping me not die. People that wanted to kill me actually intervened for me because they thought I was too crazy. So first of all, I want to ask this question. I'm going to put it on the poll. Are you willing to help share this message? Let me put that up there. Activate poll. It should come up. Are you willing to help share this message? Because there's a lot of people that are waiting and hoping and praying for one day to be free. I was locked up in a 6x9 cell and I found my freedom. I realized that not my brain, but my mind was connected to everything. My brain is not connected to everything. My brain is connected to its immediate environment, and it's connected to the discipline of the energy that I awake in the heart. But my mind, I realized, was connected to everything. And I realized how free I was. But here's the catch, and this is why I'm so passionate, is that when I got out, I got comfortable again because I thought it was just some accident, some fluke, some, some weird thing that happened to me in prison. I didn't realize that I can access that in every moment and in any time that I access every day. And there's people that experience their freedom. There's people that experience their love. There's people that experience their life within life. But then they think it was accident. They think that, oh, that was weird. Or that was cool, but I can't do it again. This is your birthright to do it every day, to access you every day, to love you every day, to live you every day. This is not some luck or some string of chance. This is who you are. Who were you born to remember, realize, and reawaken to you? And as we do that, we will fall apart the illusion that we're meant to believe, that we're meant to live afraid, that we're meant to live stressed out, that we're meant to live full of anxiety, full of doubt, full of guilt, full of resentment, full of hatred, full of self-violence, that bursts physical violence, full of self-fear, that bursts physical fears. I mean, let me go on to the next part. I lived thinking that fear was my friend, and it was a romantic partnership that I felt stronger from this fear. And I built this relationship because it caused me to believe that this was my power. The more I feared myself, the more I was fearless out here. And let me tell you, as powerful as I thought I was, if I can go back to that Michael, but I don't regret anything that I lived, but if I could be where I am today and not affect where I am today, and go back to that Michael and tell that Michael, like, let go. Because there's a love inside of you. There's a life inside of you. There's a joy inside of you that you think you're strong, you think you're powerful, you think you're unstoppable. You're killing yourself every day. You're sucking the life out of you every day. You're sucking the joy of living every day. Because then I became desensitized and all I felt was pain. I had to feel more pain. It was like a medication that I took. I had to feel more pain to feel alive. And then it came to the point where I wouldn't feel pain, that I had to push the envelope even more and more each and every day. Because let me tell you, the worst thing in the world is wanting to die, and even dying and not able to die. Because I wanted to die. In the moments that I tasted death, I came back even more pissed off because I couldn't die. That is the worst torture in the world. And there's people that do that mentally every day. I abused it because as I served it, I did not realize it was meant and designed to serve me, to elevate my inner experience, to transform into my greatest version of me, we, now. This is your birthright. So, the fear that once destroyed me has become my greatest friend in romance, as I love dancing with it and living with it, because it was really the love behind the curtain of fear. See, just like the Wizard of Oz, you pull back the curtain, you realize the wizard was this very subtle, very, very fragile, like human. You realize that when you pull the curtain back and you see the brain for what it is, it's the most humblest, most willing servant. But until you pull back the curtain, the brain looks like this enormous monster, and it looks like it's possessing us, and it looks like it's controlling us, when really all it wants to do is serve us. So, my message to you is I invite you to help me wake up the world together. Because if you enjoyed this message, imagine if we help more people discover the love, joy, and life within them that they've been waiting for, that they've been praying for, that they've been hoping for, that they've been fighting for, that they've been arguing for, that they've been dividing themselves for. They think by overpowering someone else, they're going to experience more of it. They think by lowering someone else, they're going to experience more of it. Or on the flip side, they think that if they heighten someone to the heights of of worship and adoration that one day they're going to experience it. When really it's neither. It's all here for us right here, right now. And there's nowhere it's not. So I put it on the live. I know I've gone a little bit longer than what I planned, but I want to ask you, are you willing to help share this message? Because the more you help share this message, the more you're going to bring it into your reality. I did this. I shared those that helped me. And I still share those that helped me. I can give you a list of people. If you've gone to our lives before, you could hear. The more you help promote this message, I mean, come on. Can we honestly deny that what we see in the news, what we see in the media, what we see online, the distractions of the appearances, of the illusions of, what's going to make us happier, if we get this, if we experience this. The greatest success is what I live today, is to be my best friend, to be my greatest love, to be my greatest source of joy. And of course, connected to the one spirit, the one source, the one life, God, consciousness, universe, spirit, source, life itself. But my greatest relationship that I was meant to cultivate, that our source, that our creator, that our God, that our universe wants us to have is ourself. And that's all I'm here to share. So I'm asking you, can you help somebody help the world? Because I show up every day, 7 minutes within now. Help share that message. Unite with us in silence every month. On 2020, well, you know what? I already said it. We're going to do a weekly silent meditation. Samadhi silent global weekly meditation every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Help share that message. Because it's only in silence can I remember and realize that I'm with the greatest partner, the greatest romance, the greatest love, the greatest life of my life. Everything else is a distraction. Everything else is an illusion when I don't come from that place. When I come from that place, I can experience and enjoy and appreciate all of that. Now, the next question I want to ask is, are you free within you to be? Are you free within you to be? It hasn't come up yet, but it should come up here shortly. One of the most important questions is, who am I? And what freedom of that question do you experience? Like, are you free to be you from that who am I place? Or are you allowing or experiencing others to affect you of who you think you are? Because if we allow those that are close to us to affect us of who we think we are, we're going to fall for the TV. We're going to fall for the computer. We're going to fall for Facebook. We're going to fall for Instagram. We're going to fall for Twitter and all these other places to cause us to believe that someone else knows who I am more than me. That's one of the greatest illusions in the world. There's no one that knows you better than you. And giving that responsibility to someone else is why we are where we are today. We give it to the government. We give it to, society. We give it to, and I'm going to say it, no disrespect, but I'm going to say it. We give it to religion. We give it to hospitals. We give it to the medical industry. We give it to the scientific industry. We give it to the educational system. That because of a grade defines who I am. So if I get an F, I'm a failure. What about my character? What about my qualities? What about who I am inside? Matters more than an A or an F. Now, we all have these different systems that are there purposefully placed, but when we allow it to override who we are, that's when we are playing a dangerous game. But if I know who I am and I play in these different carnival rides of this carnival we call life, I can experience the carnival. But as long as I don't sacrifice who I am. So, are you free within to be? Because if not, it's your time. And now is the time. So, coming from someone who knows what it feels like to be locked up mentally and even physically, because let me tell you, coming from personal experience, I can tell you there's more free people in prison than out here. Because people in prison have finally resolved themselves to say, there's no point in lying, this is where I am. And they accept, the person they think they are. Now that doesn't mean that's the truth, but they live freer because now they don't have to lie, they don't have to justify, they don't have to judge to think that's who they are. Now I know that kind of sounds conflicting, but because I've lived that, I had more respect for people in prison in those times than out here. Because I even said people in prison are more real than out here. Because people with 3 lifetimes, there's nothing to prove anymore. They are where they are. They accept their reality. Now I'm not telling you to accept your reality, but what I'm saying is, why are you living more in prison out here than people in there? Because you could free yourself today. You are freedom itself. So share some Odyssey of Wisdom Meditation School with your family, friends, and community. So we can agree that there's so much duality that oneness needs and must be shared to vote another reality into existence. Because it's in its birthing process. So how do we birth a baby? Women, not me, right? Women, we breathe, we push, and we love through that experience with unconditional love, right? And divine wisdom, because we know that if we push, the baby's going to come out. And with inner joy, because we know once we have that baby in our arms, we're going to be transformed. And we know the greatest success is, as a human, is to have a baby in this world, because that baby will reflect unconditional love. And it's the freedom. It's the freedom to be able to defy the odds, to bring a miracle into this world, and to live life within life so we can be reborn once again. Now that baby is you. That baby that wants to be birthed, it's you. So that's my flow for today. And I'm going to be sharing this video to people that know me. I want to ask you, if you're a podcaster, if you're a presenter, if you're a speaker, and you would like to share your platform so that we can get this message out. If you're a podcaster and when you would love for your audience to hear this message, if you are, in any space that you can help us share this message, because the world is already free. We're living in the illusion that it's not. I'm going to say that again. The world is already free. The world is already in its most supreme, unconditional love aspect. It's in its most unity. But because we've been conditioned to believe the opposite of that, we're experiencing a world that we've created, and it's time to take responsibility of that creation, because it didn't happen overnight. We didn't get to where we are overnight. But I guarantee you, and mark my words, that when more of this comes out, when more people start to take self-responsibility, accountability, and authority to love living their life, this can transform in less time than you think. And nobody is against us. Nobody is trying to attack us. There's no force outside of us trying to attack us. It's really collectively that we've created this illusion that something is against us. We've created this play, this movie. So it's time that we take responsibility and we take the pen back in our hands and we rewrite our stories. And we allow the inner child, the source within us, to write the story. Because it's already written. The question is, are we willing to accept the truth of what's already been designed and written, even before our existence? Because it's you. So if you'd like to experience this, it's possible. and I'm living witness coming from the opposite side of the spectrum, because that's what I can tell you. I come from the opposite side of the spectrum that, the world is against me. Trust no one. Fight everyone that doesn't align with your truth. And that, love, fun, joy, happiness is an illusion. They're faking it. That's not true. I lived in that reality. And a deeper reality that I lived in is wanting to die every day. That's the worst torture. That's the worst nightmare. Wanting to die every day. Cursing why I'm not dead yet. I'm not going to go into the details of that. If you want to know more about that, I can get on a call and I could tell you the deeper levels of what I'm talking about. Is that when you're not even afraid of what you think the devil is itself, that's when you got a problem. In the sense of, the darkness, that nothing scares me. I'm already living hell here. What could the other side be? More? Worse than this? So, I tell you now, where I am today is, I don't even have the physical things to prove how happy I am. But I don't need them. And I welcome all of it. Because the more I have, the more I can give. The more that I experience, the more that I can share. But I'm joyful where I'm at. I have the most simplest, humblest life, but I'm so joyful. I'm so fulfilled. Even when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, wow. No judgment. When I look at myself in the mirror and I look in my eyes, now that doesn't mean that, judgment doesn't show up throughout the day, but in this brain, there's no judgment. The only way that happens is when I'm about to go live, or I'm about to, be on a forum and speak or whatever. I'm like, am I going to say it right? Am I going to sound ridiculous? Is this too much? Is this too woo-hoo for people? Things of that nature, those things go through my brain. But judgment against myself, I don't even know I don't even know. And here's another thing that I'm going to say, and this is one of the last things I'm going to say, is that I feel or I think that an opposite force or a demon or some kind of dark entity is attacking me or is against me or is punishing me. I don't even know what that feels like anymore. To even hear the words come out of my mouth, say that. It's like, it's humbling. It's humbling. And I want that for you. Now, I can't want what you're not willing to want for yourself. But I invite you to know that nothing is impossible. And when you don't have to pray for outside help or protection or anything like that, and you're just living life, and protection happens to appear. Like, we've been in so many different situations where, like, whoa, that should have been worse. When we drive and we realize, one time, anyways, I can give stories after stories, in Mom's prayers. I appreciate our Mama's prayers. My prayer in life is to live consciously, presently. That's my prayer. That I pray with gratitude, in joy and love and appreciation, with living life. So I want to offer that to you. I want to offer that to you today. I want to offer to you what's possible. So if you're willing, ready, and desiring to live a life that is beyond your wildest dreams, because I couldn't dream this life up. I couldn't dream this life up. It's here for you. So, if you can help us share this message, that way we annihilate the news that people are hearing that the world is coming to an end, and there's so much contradiction and duality and protest and all these different things. I love it all because it's here purposefully, but it's time that we graduate. It's time that we mature, And like I said earlier, it's time that we let go of our illusory past, because the only reason why it continues to show up is because we continue bringing it with us. Can we drop the baggage? Can we drop the illusions? Can we start trusting one another? Can we start loving one another? Can we start uniting with one another? Can we start living with one another? More importantly, can you start trusting yourself? Can you start loving yourself? Can you start knowing yourself regardless what comes up? And that's how you unite with yourself. Can you live with yourself? Because if you can't, we're here to serve. I came from locked up to freed up. I am so free that nothing can lock me up ever again. That's what I want to share with you. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. It's your time. Like the great Les Brown that adopted and baptized this phrase for me. So thank you, Les Brown. From locked up to freed up. Baptized by Les Brown. He says, it's your time. It's your time. What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that time that you have? Time is so precious. And I might not be here tomorrow. I don't know when I'm going to be gone. But I'm truly not going to be gone. Because having to die several times, this brain does not fool me to make me think that this is the only life I have. So, there is a life within life. And I'm prepping that life so that I can be conscious of it when I leave this life. And let me tell you, that's the greatest vibrational piggy bank. That's the greatest investment. That's the greatest gift you can give yourself. So that when you leave this world, you have worked your consciousness that you can direct and guide your next journey. That is the reward, my friends. My beautiful mirrors. So, thank you so much. If you'd like to experience this life within life, this joy within joy, this love within love, this unity within unity, this awareness, this aliveness, this isness, of this nowness, of I amness, this vibrillionaire soul lifestyle, it's here for you today. So just talk with our students and they'll tell you, because all we do is show up for them. I show up for me every day. I want to show up and help you show up for you so that we can show up together and we transform this world together. Thank you so much, and thank you for being patient. I don't see who's on. Thank you for being patient to be here 40 minutes later and share this message. I'm going to cut this message up and I'm going to share little excerpts so we can share this message far and wide, because this is the greatest news. It's for you to love living life now. And stop waiting, stop praying, stop hoping, stop dreaming, stop wondering, stop questioning, but live today. Question, but don't question. Question who you are, but don't question and say, oh no, it's not my time. Why is it not my time? Question, why have I believed it's not my time? Because it's my time. Invite yourself. Thank you. Namaste.